What do I really want? What do I really want? This is the most important question to ask. Another equally important question to ask would be, who am I? Who is this I? Or what is this I that wants it? When you ask yourself, what do I really want? There will be some answers that come to you immediately. I want a good job. I want a beautiful, cooperative, loving partner. I want to live like this, or I want to do that. But this is generally not the right answer. Anything that you say when you ask yourself something, the first answer is never the answer. At least go 3-4 layers down to figure out what do you really want. In fact, I would say that the more you do this exercise, the more discoveries you begin to have. Perhaps you also become frustrated because it's so layered. You think you want this, but upon deeper inquiry you realize that you want this because you want something else. And then when you get to that level, you realize you want that because you want something else. So we have to go deep. We have to dig deep. There is no other question. Life around us looks very superficial. Someone just eats too much or eats too little. So definitely the eating disorder is not the eating disorder. The eating disorder is a psychological disorder. Now, why does the psychological disorder come? It is because there is dissatisfaction from either a personal standpoint or from a societal standpoint. Then what is wrong in the society? Why is it wrong in the society? You will go deeper, inquire deeply enough before, and you will do all that because you're presently not feeling clear, not having clarity about several things in life. And this is almost guaranteed that whatever you think you want, when you get that, you will realize that you're still not feeling good. You're not still feeling satisfied and fulfilled. So you would think, okay, maybe this is not really what I wanted. I actually want that. And you will get to that and realize that this is also not what you want. So what is that you want? That remains the question. What do you really want? I'm not going to answer this question for you. I'm going to answer this question for myself, and for you to know what my answer to this question is, what my thought process is. You don't have to have the same thought process. You don't have to reach the same conclusion, and you definitely don't have to live the way I live, or sit the way I sit, or make an arrangement around here the way I do. You have to do you. I have to do me, and we have to talk and share and learn from each other. That's the only thing here. That's the only thing here. Okay? The reason I sit like this, it makes me feel really grounded. I'm an Indian by origin. I've spent first 29 years of my life in India, and I feel very comfortable sitting on the floor. It's not necessarily because of yoga or because of spirituality that we sit like this. We people in the East, we love to sit on the floor. We love to do a lot of stuff on the floor. So yeah, that's how it is, and soon it's gonna change as well as I get tired of sitting like that. Not to say that I can sit like that for hours, but again, that's not the point. Appearance is not the point. I do have to make some kind of appearance. If I put a lake or a riverside behind me, people say that it's a green screen, it's a fake screen in the back, and this is how it is right now. So I don't mind so much about pretense or how things look. I do like them to look neat and clean enough, but not overboard. Let's get into what do you want? What do I want? I asked this question to myself from the very beginning of life, and the answers were simple. You want to get into good school, you want to get good education, you want to get a good job, then maybe you fall in love with someone or not, then you get married, maybe you get married or not, maybe you have children or not, but what and why? What do I really want by wanting this? Why do I want these things? Just because everybody wants this, I need to want this? Just because everybody follows this order, I have to follow this order? Is it very important for me to finish high school and then do university, then do another university, maybe go up to PhD, or I can take breaks between the studies? When I was younger, I was told that a gap year in your education does not look good on your CV. And I used to think, if I justify my gap year, wouldn't it look good? Wouldn't I be able to say that this is the reason why I left and this is what I've learned so far? So wouldn't it make my case strong. Back in those days in India, there was no such culture. I think now there is. Now people can take break years and justify it. Even they are appreciated if they've done something interesting in that year. So I made that choice with a lot of a lot of people were telling me not to do that. I didn't find a word to fit in there in that sentence. A lot of people would tell me, don't do that because you have been having a nice, consistent record of studies, and suddenly this break will not look good. And what will you say? You were just traveling? And I said, yeah, I will say I was traveling because I needed to figure things out. And if I come back ever and have to have a CV to apply for a job, then I can tell them what I did. Luckily for me, I never had to make another CV or resume for myself and never had to apply for a job. But if I had to, I'm sure that I had enough things to say to justify to the interviewers why I did what I did. And if they didn't understand me, I wouldn't want to work with them. But also it's different when you're living in a country or in a culture or in a position, in a situation where there is too much competition and what you really want doesn't really matter because there is only that particular thing to get, and a lot of people want that, and so you also just need to shut up and try to get the same thing that everybody is getting. So again, take everything with a pinch or a few pinches of salt. But if you are in a situation, if you are living in a part of the world or in a situation in your life where you can actually ask yourself this question, what do I want? Then I would highly recommend you to ask this question. First I thought I wanted to travel the whole world. The more I traveled, I realized that on one level, I still love to travel, and soon I'm going to start another 2 months of traveling, and you will see updates from that as well. But now why I do it is different than why I used to think that I would do. I thought I will want to travel because I want to see all the cultures and all the places and all the people, and there somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew that I also want to be able to tell everybody that I've been to this place and that place. I'd seen people putting on their social media platforms 150 countries, 80 countries, 50 countries, stuff like that. Very soon I got disillusioned by that idea, and I realized, what is this checkpoint? How do you say that I've traveled 50 countries? Which places do you have to visit to be able to say that I've seen the country? Have you ever seen the whole country? I've lived 29 years in India. I cannot say that I've seen the country. I've lived 6 years in Romania, traveled quite a lot in Romania. Still, I cannot say that I've traveled Romania. So I don't know how I can put a number to how many places I've visited. And then you cannot quantify an experience which is purely qualitative. It's not possible. So calm down, slow down, get real, and ask yourself, what do you really want? Why do you want to travel? Okay, I wanted to understand some things about life, what success means, what happiness means, how other people live their lives and all that, and how the nature looks different, how the cultures are, how people talk, what languages they speak. But after doing that for a few years, I wasn't as excited to be traveling. But back then I used to have a blog where I was writing about my travels. I had a Facebook page where I was putting my travels. For a short period I also put on another YouTube channel my videos of my hitchhiking and backpacking and all that. And I started to get tagged as a traveler. So #traveler became a thing. I wasn't doing it necessarily, but of course now I have a tag of being a spiritual person because I talk like this and sit like this and I teach yoga. Back then I had a backpack and I was traveling all the time, so I became a traveler. And I get uncomfortable with this labeling and tagging and putting things in one. I am all of that. I'm not saying I'm not. I am all of that. But I'm that and much more and much more and everything else. So, oh, you think like this because you've traveled a lot. You think like this because you have hitchhiked a lot. You think like this because you do that. Maybe yes, maybe, but what I'm saying right now comes from a different experience, comes from maybe my childhood stories, or maybe it comes from reading different books or having conversation with different people. You never know. The best thing is to ask, how do you know this? Where do you know this from? Why do you think like that? That's the best thing to do, to ask other people. instead of assuming something about them. It's very easy, and they love it when you ask. Most people would love if you ask them about their experiences and ask them how did they get to those understandings, because most people are not asking anything to anybody else. So, okay. Anyway, it's a free, open conversation. I just feel like talking to you guys again, and I feel like sharing this with you. So don't try to look for a certain point or a certain topic to flow consistently. It is gonna flow as it is gonna flow. Remembering the main theme is that you're asking yourself, what do you want? Okay, you say, I want money. I want money. Good to want money. You need money. It's not possible to survive in this world without money. There are some ways you can do that, but they're really harsh and tough and not for everybody. But for majority of the people, money is required. I'm one of those people. Money is required. Money is needed to support many things in life. And having money frees you up from so many problems, at least the money problems, if not all the problems. And it gives you a certain sense of confidence, a certain sense of control in order to do things that you want to do. Basically, if I want to go home, visit my family, I need to take a flight, and I'm glad that I have the money to book the flight and go to them. As simple as that. But then how much money is enough money? Is it enough that you have just a few $1,000s saved somewhere? Is it enough that you have 100,000? Is it enough that you have 1,000,000 or 10 millions or 20 or 200? When is it enough money? When would you stop prioritizing money and then get real again and ask yourself, okay, what do I really want? I want this money because it gives me security, but does it really give me security? If something had to happen to me and I had to die out of a disease or an accident, this money would not be any useful to me. So money is important, as I said, but again, ask yourself, are you going to suppress all the other problems in your life by telling yourself, no, I need to make money. The world is harsh. I need to make money. I need to provide for my children. I need to provide for my family. I need to take care of my parents. I need money. So whenever people ask you to show your emotional side, ask you to be vulnerable and share your problems, you don't have time for all this bullshit. You need to make money. You're very passionate about it. Get real. Sooner or later, you will be forced by life to ask this question. And the chances are that you get very bitter, you get very sad and depressed in later years of life, very lonely, because you have spent your life not facing the real questions of life. No matter how successful you get, no matter how much people praise you, no matter what award you win, when you come home and you're all alone, it will not fulfill you. You will lose all the beautiful feelings that you had an hour ago in a function somewhere. When you take your clothes off, change into the home clothes, you'll get real. And the older you get, the more real these things will get. So don't fool yourself. Be radically honest with yourself. And keep asking, okay, what do I want? I think I have enough money. I think I would like to remain healthy. Okay, so then you start to deprioritize your projects and meetings and not compromise on the time that you need for your physical attention, physical care. Or you want to focus more on meditation or create some kind of a practice for yourself that brings more stability, more peace, more calm, a gentler rhythm to your life. But you keep pushing it every week. You're saying it's going to happen next week. Every week is going to happen next week. But then life is running by and you're getting older and your body is getting weaker and weaker. And then the chances of you getting frustrated is higher and higher. So get real. Don't delay this question for the weekend or for the next week or for the next spring. Ask this question right now with me. What do you really want? How do you really want to live this life? And how can you do that? What can you do now and how you can do it now? Not that you say that things have to change around me for me to be able to live my life. No, you can still get to the deeper questions. And although there are things around you that make you so busy and that make you work like an ass the whole day, you still have time, moments to connect with yourself, to stay connected within, to stay with your breath, to know that you have a choice in your response to things that happen to you. Things that happen to you inherently do not really have any value. This is now at another level. Some will agree, some won't, but I'm speaking from a very higher perspective right now. Higher, quote unquote. That no matter what is happening to you, even if someone is aiming a gun and is about to shoot you, no matter what is happening to you, does not have any power to you. The only power there is in your response, and you have the choice to respond to that. But then you have to pause and ask yourself, do I have the choice? Is there an I in me to have the choice? You need to get into that questioning, and there is no need to quote it with a spiritual angle. There's no need to change your appearance and go into some really humble retreats, and maybe you don't like that, and it's okay. Just be as you are. Nothing needs to be changed from the outside, because again, it is not about what is happening to you, it's about how you're responding to it. There's no need for you that if you ask these kind of questions to yourself, now you are becoming like those people, those crazy spiritual people that you try to stay away from. It's okay. You can do it your way. You can make a mix of everything. Make a mix of being spiritual, being materialistic, being very deep and being very superficial, watching very intense intellectual kind of stuff on TV or Netflix, and watching very dumb shit on TV. You can do all of it. It's all up to you. There's no rules to it. I don't make rules for you and tell you this is what you need to do. That's what gurus do mostly, but I'm not your guru. I'm just a guy talking to you. I've been saying it in almost every alternate video that, guys, I'm not your guru. I'm not a guru. I'm just a friend, just another human being who for whatever reason wants to share this with you. And I see that you respond well, that you listen to me. So I want to just keep talking to you. That you need to have trust in yourself, believe yourself that you got this, that you can do it your way. Nobody needs to come and validate your experience for you. If they do it, it's nice. Maybe sometimes they do it, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that what's your opinion about things? Can you begin to trust yourself and say, hey, you know what, if I want to do this, that's what I think I want to do. So again, coming back, what do you really want? What do you really want? And then you may realize that I just want to be happy. That's the only thing I want. I just want to be happy. I just want to be pleasant and feel adequate in myself. I just want to be. Then you ask yourself, okay, what makes me happy? What makes me happy? Then you say that every month when my salary comes, it makes me happy. It doesn't make you happy. It makes you less miserable. And we somehow equate lack of misery as happiness. It's not. You feel less threatened when salary comes. You don't necessarily feel happy. Like, oh, I can pay the bill again and I can pay the rent again and I still have the job. It's a proof that I still have things going on for me. It doesn't make you happy. What makes you happy? You will, if you keep on asking yourself, you may find out that the things that make you happy are very simple and little things. And the things that make you happy are not really things. And the things that make you happy don't really cost much. Sometimes they cost nothing, sometimes they cost not much. You begin to realize that the things that made you happy when you were a little child are the same things that still make you happy. When you were a little child and you would sit down on the floor and you look at the creek between two wooden planks, and you will get very close to that place and you start looking at that and you start to see all the designs that are made on the wooden plank, and I don't know, maybe you start to imagine many things, think many things, and you feel really present in a way that your personality is fully absent but you are fully present. The presence is there, the person is not there, and the children know it so well, the animals know it so well, and you still get happy by doing that. But somehow you've told yourself, or you've been taught, that now you need to do other things that make you happy. They don't. If you go around nature, you definitely get happier. You just feel at home. If you don't feel at home, then you've gone too far away from your natural, from your own true nature. So you need to slow down. You need to really slow down and gently but regularly ask yourself, what is it that I really want? And then you begin to start making time for it. Because no matter how much material security, the illusion of material security you create around yourself, it's never going to be enough. It's a trap in a way. Again, when I say these things, you guys always think in binaries. Some people would say, completely okay, so why are you wearing the watch? I don't have the watch today. Why are you wearing the watch? Why are you having this camera? I'm not so impractical. I'm a very rational and practical being, and that is how I'm able to live my life the way I want. I'm a blend of everything. If I need to be spiritual and philosophical and abstract, I can be. If I need to get practical and get things done, I can do both. So I'm definitely suggesting you to do the same. You don't have to put yourself into a binary all the time. You don't have to think this or that. You can think this and that. Just however it is that you were. Nobody needs to come and point at you and approve you. You approve yourself on a daily basis. You approve yourself. So I don't know how I got there to the point. So what the things that make you happy, if you've gone too far that you can't even find any peace, any calm in nature, then you really need to slow down and really need to ask yourself, what the hell am I doing here? What do I really want? Do you need to marry or should you not marry? Nobody's going to answer this question for you. Maybe you don't want to marry when you are in your 20s and your 30s, and when you get to your 40s, you realize that I want to. But all your life you proclaimed so arrogantly to everybody why marriage is such a stupid idea, why being with someone is such a stupid idea, what this institution has only failed and all that. And suddenly you find yourself as if betraying your own self. So don't get so hung up on your beliefs. Don't be so strong about anything that you conclude. Allow yourself to be fluid. I said I don't want this now, I might want this tomorrow. So again, if you've always been real and honest with yourself and with people around you, you will say, you know what? I'm changing the team. I'm gonna get married. I'm changing the team. I'm actually going to want to have kids now. I didn't want that all my life, and it's okay to change. You're not supposed to be consistent. You are not technology. You are not ChatGPT. You're not supposed to be very methodical and orderly and just precise. You're a human. You're a messy, complicated, complex being. And you have the ability to hold contradictory views at the same time together. You are not supposed to be consistent. You're not supposed to be always because you try to be like that, you're so easy to be read. It is so easy to read your mind. It is so easy to understand you and make patterns out of it and learn your behaviors and assume what you would want next and show you ads, and you can fall in that trap. But if you accept your messiness as it is, your perfect imperfection, that you are a paradox, you are a living paradox, that yes, you are a hypocrite. Who is not a hypocrite? Or who is not a hypocrite from time to time? And it's not necessarily a horrible thing that from time to time you find yourself that you said something else but you want something else. You thought something. That's the nature of us human beings. And just be open to all of that. Be honest with that. If all of us can be honest with that, if all of us can just show as we are to ourselves and to others, then we will be so forgiving to each other, because we will not believe and imagine that this person said that, and because he or she said that, that's what they're going to do. No, people are going to change their mind, and they're going to break your trust, they're going to break their promises, they're going to leave you when they said they will leave you to the end of their lives. Things going to happen to you. But in your fancy, in your image that you create about things, about life, about how people should be, you are thinking that, okay, they said that, why did they say that then? Well, they didn't know why they said that in the first place. You need to slow down to be able to think about these things deeply and honestly and openly. You need to think without filters. You need to allow all kind of thoughts to come to you, all kind of thought processes to go in your head. Not say, oh my God, this is forbidden in my religion. This is forbidden by my parents. I cannot think like that. This is horrible to think. No, it's just a fucking thought. Think about it. Why the hell this thought came to you? Don't be so afraid, oh my God, how could I think of doing that? No. You're just thinking. The thought is coming. It's not even clear if you're thinking or just thought shows up and another thought comes and makes it my thought. Okay, just be open to whatever happens. Let go of all the conditioning and all the patterns of thinking and feeling that you've trained yourself. Allow yourself to be spontaneous, from time to time unreliable, from time to time indisciplined, from time to time inconsistent, because you're going to be like that even if you try not to be. We put so much we give so much we put those people in a high mantle somewhere. Those we hear the stories that this person has been bathing by this riverside at 6 in the morning for last 25 years. No matter what the weather is, the person is bathing by the river, and everybody praises this person because this person does not break the rhythm. You have no idea what this person has become slave to. Maybe this person has become slave to his or her routine, and there could be so many things there. Only this person knows. Only this person knows what the hell he or she is doing. You don't have to copy that. You don't have to admire or not admire that. Just take everything as it is. Do your thing in life. Just do your thing in life. Figure this thing out for yourself. What do you want? For me, things became clearer step by step. Okay, and for me, it was not very clear what I want. Most of my life, the inquiry has been what I don't want. I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want this, I don't want that, I'm sure I don't want this, I'm sure I don't want that, and you keep narrowing your what is left, and it comes out that I just want to live in nature. I just want to be as much around nature as possible. I have to stop living in bigger cities. That's what came up for me. I have to stop pretending who I am not. I have to stop living up to people's expectations because they create an expectation out of me, and then I somehow feel like I have to live up to that expectation, but I didn't ask you to create that image of me. You did that. It's your job. You did that. And now I spend my time and energy and everything to make you feel like you made a good expectation and not disappoint you. It gets so messy. I have to stop doing all of that, right? And so these were the choices that slowly, gradually showed up in me. That, hey, you know what? If I am the way I am when I talk to people, it doesn't matter how they react to me. I don't want to change my behavior to people based on how they behave with me. If I don't like their behavior, I'm going to stay away from them. But if I can tolerate them, if I can be with them, I'm just going to be as I am. As I'm with you in front of camera, as I'm with you in real life, as I'm with you if you meet me on the street randomly, as I'm with you if you're my best friend or my father or my mother. I'm just going to be the same person. Why would I change because you changed for me? If I can't tolerate you, as I said, I'm going to leave you, I'm going to block you. But if I can, I'm just going to be myself. It gets simpler, and simplicity becomes a law of life, because people admire people in big cars. You don't have to have a big car, or you don't have to admire a big car unless you really want a big car, then go for it. But that's the point. The point is not what is acceptable, what is not, and you need to stop being so afraid of life. You need to be, and I've said this in some videos before, is that if you have embraced life as it is, if you've embraced that you're going to die, or whatever it is that's going to die, you embrace life, you've embraced death, you've embraced all sufferings, you have accepted life in its totality, then there's nothing really much to worry about in life. Then you can really allow yourself to be who you are, because this is the only place and only time where you will feel like you've freed up yourself. You feel so light and so free and so bright and so open to life, because then the surroundings don't define you, the surroundings don't describe you. You have an inner sanctuary. Even if you're living in concrete, you have an inner sanctuary that is flourishing like a garden. Okay, it's easier when you are in nature and also have an inner sanctuary. I don't want to fool you with that. But if you cannot get out for some reason, it's not like you have nothing left, your life is gone. No, you can still find tiny little pleasures in life. You can still just be a witness to your life rather than being an active participant to your life. You can see your life unfolding and then completely disintegrating eventually. You can watch it all happening. If you don't want to participate, you can participate and be really good at it. You can do a messy participation and messy observation. You can do whatever. Just don't allow others to tell you how it's done. Don't allow others to tell you how you should live. When you're sick, when you're dying, when you're sleeping, there's nobody coming to you, right? You are in that moment telling you whatever you're telling. And the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you deal with yourself right now is the same way you're going to deal with yourself before falling asleep, while you are sick and while you're dying. So change the way you treat yourself, so that when you're dying and whenever life gets rough, your attitude has been changed and set, and you treat yourself nicely. You treat yourself well. These things won't happen with a 30-minute video. These things happen maybe in a 10 years of lifespan, or 15, or even 20. But there's no other way. There's no other way. Stop trying to always find yourself in a group where everybody agrees with you. Just take your time. Take time with yourself and figure this out for yourself. What do I really, really want? How would I want to be if there was no one around me? If there was nothing else but this being, how would I want to be? What would matter to me? Food will matter, shelter will matter, and these basic things will matter. So just make them the most important thing of your life. Nothing more than that. You don't have to upgrade your life every few years. Upgrade your house, upgrade your car, upgrade your neighborhood, upgrade your whatever subscriptions, upgrade your phone, upgrade your laptop. You don't have to live like that because everybody else lives like that. You can be ruthlessly yourself. You can be. And I just want to tell you that you can be. That's all I can do. The rest is up to you how you live your life. I'm going to leave you with that. And I'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves.